All right, so same deal here. This is just a part two of moving through some of the questions on your SOL that you can use your calculator to do completely for you. So again, in this problem, I'm going to use the store function. So I'm going to store a 10. If I have to store a value because nothing's given, I like to use 10. This is square root, so I'm going to type in square root of 42x to the 9th power, and I get this number. So that's the number I'm looking for in one of these options. All right. Now, when I go ahead and start typing them in, I'm going to have an x to the 3rd, and then I'm going to say square root of 42. Different number, that one is not right. So then I'm going to say x to the 4th, square root of 42. Oops. That did not work. X to the 4th, square root of 42. And that also is wrong. All right, so again, we're looking for this number here. So then I'm going to look for a 6, and then x to the 3rd, radical 7. And that didn't work, so now we're going to see if this one works here. So I'm going to go ahead and try a 6x to the 4th and a square root of 7x. And that did not work either. So what I have to go back and now look at is which one I typed in incorrectly. So x to the 4th, right there, I went typing too fast, and I just typed in an x to the 4th square root of 42. So let's bring this one down, and let's make sure we have a 42x there, and that's my answer. All right, so notice I could go back and fix this video, but I'm not, because it's important to realize if something didn't work, it's probably because we just typed in something wrong. So the x to the 4th square root of 42x is the one that matches the original problem. All right, now solving a system of equations. Your calculator can easily graph when it's y equals. So we're going to go ahead and solve the second equation for y. So to do this, I'm going to subtract the 7x first. And so I'd have a 4y equals negative 7x minus 1. And then I'm going to divide all of this by a 4. So let's go ahead and look at our calculator and go to y equals. I'm going to clear that out. And I'm going to type in a negative x plus 2. And then in y2, because I didn't want to simplify this at all, I'm going to use that alpha y equals button again. So I can type it in exactly how I see it here. Negative 7x minus 1 over a 4. So if I hit graph, we're looking, since this is a system, we're looking for where the two cross. So this right here is the solution. Sometimes on the SOL they want you to put a dot here, but right now they want the x value of the solution. So just by eyeballing this, I see 1, 2, 3 over at negative 3. So right now I'm positive it's not 3 or 5. Pretty sure it's not the negative 5, but we are going to be definite when we pick our answer. So I'm going to go second trace, and I'm going to do the intersect. So second trace intersect, second trace, and option 5 for the intersect. And this is such a nice button to use because once you want, get as close as you can, and that's as far as I'm going to go, and you hit enter 1, 2, 3 times, and it tells you your answer is actually at the negative 3. Now again, remember this one is asking us for the x. The x value is a negative 3. And that's how your calculator will find your, so we second trace, 5th option, and then you hit enter 3 times, and it will tell you exactly where the value is. All right, now we talked about this one, roots. This problem might have said zeros. This problem might have said x-intercepts. This problem might have said solutions. But it is actually asking us for roots. But these all mean the same thing. So I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to put this into y equals. So I'm going to clear out the two things I have. X squared minus 7x plus 10. Graph it. And I see my two solutions here at 2 and 5. Now, the first problem we did, they were written out as factors. This one is asking us what the actual values are. So 2 and 5 were the actual values. If it had said anything about factors, it would be an x minus 2 and an x minus 5. All right, now I kept this one on here because I just want to make the point, your calculator can't graph the x equals, it can only graph the y equals. So if we go ahead, oops, and I meant to hit calculator, if we go ahead and type in a y5, if you forget, this reminds us, this is a horizontal line, right? So horizontal line, it looks like the horizon, right, where you can see the sun. This is your horizontal line. So since we know we want horizontal, now that we've seen it, we know we're dealing with one B or D. All right, I want the horizontal line passing through this point. Well, remember, X is a 7, Y is the 5. So we want this one here for Y equals 5. Y equals 7 would be all the way up here, and I'll switch pen color. Y equals 7 would be up 2 units higher, so it wouldn't cross through that point. All right, now this one, that's the same thing. You're looking at the graph. What are the solutions? So we can see that they're there at -2 and a +4. All right, I'll just circle that one. So the last thing I want to go over is just our linear regression. All right, so let's go ahead and just look at this equation here. Which equation most closely represents the line of best fit for this data? So anything about a line of best fit is a statistics problem. So on our calculator, we're going to hit Stat, which is right here, and Edit. And I'm going to enter my data in exactly how it is in the table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I have a 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. Oopsies, and see, I'm not paying attention. So start over again, and I'm actually going to clear this now that I've made a mess of it. All right, so 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. Now, before you do anything, double check these values, so make sure your x's are correct and your y's are correct. And now we're going to go back to Stat. We're going to, instead of editing, because we're done entering the data, we're going to go over to Calc and we're going to calculate the linreg. That's linear regression, which is your mx plus b. So I'm going to do the fourth option, enter, 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 until it spits out an equation for your line of best fit. And now we get to just compare and find the one that matches. And so there's your answer A, with the 1.7 being plugged in for your A and the 0.13 being plugged in for B. Okay. Now, just because we've got a little more time left in this video, if I want to find f of -8, this is no different than asking you what do you get when you plug in a -8 for the x. So it's asking you to plug in a -8 right here. Now again, if you want your calculator to do this one for you, instead of using a random value, it's asking you in this problem to plug in -8 for the x. So once I have that, I'm going to plug this part in exactly how I see it. So I'm going to hit alpha y equals and have 11x minus 24 over a 2. And we get a negative 176. And that would be your final answer. Now again, this problem is another regression problem, but it's not just asking you the equation, it's asking us what to do at the end of week 8, which is asking us when the x is 8, what would this value be? So we are going to do this one the same way initially. So I'm going to go ahead, stat, edit, and I'm going to enter in my data points, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those didn't change, but my y values have changed. So we are going to type in a 225, a 205, a 187, a 169, a 147, and a 130. And we're going to go stat, over to calc, and I'm going to do my linear regression again. Now, if you can remember, and I'm going to show you both ways in case you forget, before you go past this store regression equation, this stands for store regression equation. Remember I said that that nice fraction is hiding up here in alpha y equals? If you actually come over to alpha trace, you have a y1 hiding there. All right, now that one's a little harder to remember to do. So again, it's alpha trace is where you can get the y1, and then it's sitting there for me. So stat, over to calc, the fourth option, when you're arrowing through these, alpha, calc, y equals, and calculate it. Now, it looks exactly the same, right? So it showed me that my equation is a negative 19.1x plus a 243.9. So if you didn't do the y1, what we're going to do is we're going to plug an 8 in to this equation. So we're going to type in a negative 19.1 times an 8 plus a 243.9. So if I go ahead and type that in, then I would have a negative 19.1 times an 8 plus 243.9. Now we're looking at week 8. Well, so I can see there that looks pretty close to a 91. Now, since we did the y1 though, what's helpful about that is if you go to your table, it actually already stored the values in for us. And so the nice thing about that is you could just arrow down and look at your table. If you don't remember to put the y1 in, then it won't have anything there for you and you have no choice but to do it this way, right? But if you remember to put the y1, then it's going to show you your 91 without you having to do the secondary step. All right. Now the last one I want to go through is just this one. Look at the function and find the zeros. Zeros mean x-intercepts. So we're going to look at that function. We're going to go to y equals, and we're going to type in a 9x squared minus 16, hit graph, and we're going to estimate here. So let's just narrow down some choices right off the bat. So I can already tell that this has 2 zeros, 1, 2. So D is out because there's definitely not 3, and B is out because there's definitely not 3. Now, between A and C, C is telling me I have a 0 all the way over here at negative 16 and all the way over here at 9. Well, that's not where the x-intercepts are. So that leaves A as our correct answer at negative 4/3, which would be right here, and 4/3. All right. So that's just some calculator tips to help you on your SOL if you want to use them. It's always a good backup if you feel stuck.